Hello, I'm Allison Seymour, and welcome to the Color of STEM. STEM is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. These areas of expertise are the path to some of the fastest growing and best paid careers in the 21st century, including everything from how to design and build a better cell phone, really, can they get any better? To how to travel more comfortably into outer space, and everything in between. Here at the Color of STEM, we want to inspire you to think seriously about a STEM career and the impact you can make on your community and the world. This week, we'll meet Dr. Frederick Bertley, the Senior Vice President of Science and Education at the renowned Franklin Institute in Philadelphia. We'll introduce you to Barrington Irving, an HBCU grad who was the youngest person ever to fly solo around the world and the only African American to do so. We're back in a moment with that and much more when the Color of STEM returns.
I believe as a society we get what we celebrate.
I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the Super Bowl of STEM.
That's one small step for man, giant leap for mankind.
If you want to change the world, become an engineer.
If you look at the biggest companies in America, almost all of them are science, technology, engineering, and math.
The only reason I got a chance to do this is because of a dream. It opened my eyes to a different world.
You cannot wake up through the morning and get through the day without specifically being impacted by science, technology, engineering, and math.
The hopes and dreams of America's college students are dying. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund supports the 47 public, historically black colleges and universities. 80% of all students attending an HBCU are doing so on public HBCU campuses. With your help, TMCF can continue to be the lifeline of nearly 300,000 diverse students. Visit our website today to make a donation to help these very deserving students. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund, where education pays off.
Welcome back to the Color of STEM. Let's meet Dr. Bertley from the Franklin Institute, who along with his many responsibilities at the Institute, also directs the Institute's international education efforts, including projects in Africa and South America.
The Franklin Institute is a science museum and center of science education and research in Philadelphia. Founded in 1824, the Franklin Institute is one of the oldest centers of science education and development in the United States. The mission of the Franklin Institute Science Museum serves to inspire an understanding of and passion for science and technology learning for everyone.
This is the nation's oldest science center, established in 1824. And of course, it's named after Benjamin Franklin. He's one of the greatest scientists, entrepreneurs of our country in our history ever. What we are today is a first-rate science center. And the cool thing about this science center is when you come through and you experience these exhibits, you walk through, you press buttons, you react, you get these experiences that leave indelible imprints on you, and you forever are curious about science. Kids come in, it's called free learning or free associate learning, meaning they can go anywhere they want, they can interact with any aspect of the museum, and it's self-directed. So if they're bored on one thing, they can go to something else that really grabs their attention. And that's why, as you said, when you walk through our atria, you really see kids who are happy, smiling, and excited about being in this place. We are in a STEM-filled environment, and so kids and adults, for that matter, need to know about that.
Dr. Bertley came to the Franklin Institute from Boston. After a series of interviews, former President Dr. Dennis Wendt knew they had the right person for the job.
He was a great guy, older, white gentleman, the beard, very patriarch-looking gentleman. And he said, Frederick, is there anything else you want to say? It's been wonderful meeting you. And I said, well, Dr. Wendt, yes, I'm glad you're excited. You've had me here 3 times. If you decide to go with me, I want to make sure that this city, which is 50% African American, has representation in the building. So do know that if you go with me, part of my work, along with the whole job and skill set and training and job description that you have, is going to make sure that the black and brown community gets further embraced in the Franklin Institute. And he looked me dead in my eye And he said, Frederick, that's why you're the perfect person for the job. And I couldn't believe that. I remember flying back to Boston thinking, wow, that gentleman just told me that. That's a long-winded precursor to the color science. Role models is critical. Most black boys and black girls, when they're growing up, they see LeBron James or Mariah Carey or Beyonce. I mean, the first figures you are seeing bombarded through the internet or television are entertainers and athletes. Now, I love sports and I certainly love entertainment, and I think that's important to round out the human condition. Those things are good. But I think we need a balanced suite of role models and a balanced exposure of individuals. So we need to celebrate the Benjamin Bannekers. We need to celebrate the George Washington Carvers. And those are people who have passed. We also need to celebrate people who are alive now doing some amazing things, like Arlie Petters, the African-American physicist at Duke University. I mean, there's so many great people. Jim West, who's responsible for the Electret microphone that's in all cell phones around the planet. These are African-Americans who came up with this great stuff. And so Mae Jemison, the first African-American woman to be in space through the space shuttle. She's also a medical doctor. Like, these are people who should be celebrated as much as Beyonce, as much as Rihanna, as much as, you know, Lil Wayne, etc. I mean, it's very important to have that balancing. So that's one thing. If little black boys and Latino girls and Latino boys and other persons of color see people in these places and then actually can go the second step and meet them physically, then it demystifies that. Right? It's important to say that, oh, I can actually be that because I met Derek Pitts, I met, you know, Idris Stovall, I met Jim West, I met these individuals, and all of a sudden you can relate to that. And so one, it's having the role models up on the wall, but it's two, making sure these kids can be immersed in environments where they see some of these people and they realize, wow, okay, being a nerd or being interested in being smart isn't a white thing. Everybody should want to be smart, right? That shouldn't be color specific or gender specific. And so really showing those opportunities and making those interactions possible will significantly help.
Dr. Bertley also oversees the Energizing Education Program and also founded and directs the Color of Science program, which highlights the fantastic contributions of women and persons of color to modern-day science and engineering.
All scientists aren't old white men with thick glasses and pocket protectors, but that women make fantastic scientists, that the Latino community, the African American community, Native Americans, etc., people from all color, Asians, everybody can be a great scientist. And the purpose of the program is to reflect that beautiful, beautiful spectrum of colors in the scientific endeavor, and then showcase them to the world. With that, it's a wrap.
We'll be back in a moment.
They say the path chosen today prepares leaders for tomorrow. So I chose academics, excellence, and a diverse culture. My choice was clear. I am a graduate of Morgan State University.
Did you know that Morgan State University has educated more than half of the African American engineers, educators, and healthcare professionals in Maryland?
I could have sent my children to any school around the country, but we chose Texas Southern because they were interested in educating these children.
Any field that you leave Texas Southern with a degree in that you decide to pursue, you're not there because, you know, it's sympathetic. You're there because you're one of the best.
I'm Michael Strahan, and I am Texas Southern University.
Welcome back to the Color of STEM. Here's something to think about. Students today are being trained for jobs that don't even exist yet. I know you need a moment to think about that one. But the technology changes so quickly, it's sometimes hard to imagine the jobs of the not too distant future. But with the proper STEM education and training, you will be prepared to step into one of those new STEM positions. Here's more from the Color of STEM.
Howard University recently completed construction of a new 81,000 square foot mixed-use academic building that will support and promote interdisciplinary research and educational collaboration. The research building will incorporate cutting-edge technology and the latest educational, environmental, and research standards. It's a cornerstone of the university's academic renewal initiative.
The building has been designed with energy efficiency in mind in a laboratory kind of setting, which is kind of very difficult to do. We have backup power, We have some what we call cold rooms where we can set the temperature and humidity. We have a Class 10 clean room, and it's the only Class 10 clean room in the Washington metropolitan area. In that clean room, we also have the ability to develop drugs, and we have a metals-free area. So there's really a lot of exciting features that we've been able to integrate into the building to take us to the future. You know, for a long time, faculty said, what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. And that's the way we did research, but you can't do research that way anymore. And so you have to have these shared facilities, and you have to be able to do team science. In this day and time, you can't do big science without collaboration. You can't, you know, science is a team game now. And it requires many times a lot of sophisticated instruments, and it requires people who come to solve the problem with a different perspective. And there are a lot of really challenging problems out there. If you think about it, how long we've been working on trying to understand and cure cancer, how we've been trying to, you know, do all kinds of things in the medical field, as well as, you know, new engineering kinds of things as well. Not only do we have some really fantastic research going on here, but we also have something that some of the majority schools don't do, and that is we have a more of a nurturing environment. And so if a student is having some difficulty, who's really smart, there are a lot of students who come on campus as freshmen, and for whatever reason, they, you know, it's a new experience for them. And here, we'll hold your hand a little bit and give you a better chance to get started. And so I think that's really important, and I think the students really appreciate that. And as a result, many of them go on and do great things. And I just wish some people knew, or maybe I'm hoping that they don't find out the quality of all the students that we have here at Howard, because they would certainly be going after them with all guns blazing.
Awarded a National Science Foundation Science and Technology Center, which allows collaboration with Howard, Harvard, MIT, Boston Science Museum, and a college network that feeds into the PhD research arena.
So it's a great opportunity for us to collaborate. Everybody on the team sort of brings a different piece of the pie, and it's really fantastic when you see it come together. We're just excited that our students are getting the opportunity to participate, and it's really opened a lot of new avenues for Howard, and also for collaboration between Howard and MIT and Harvard. And it's just turned out to be a great experience for, I think, all parties involved.
Howard University has been involved in the USA Science and Engineering Festival since 2010. It's the largest and only national science and engineering festival in the United States. More than 325,000 participated in 2014. Dean Harris speaks about the networking and exposure opportunities at the festival.
It's one of the greatest days, or 3 or 4 days, of science. It's a celebration of science. I mean, it was there from Meet the Science Guy to making ice cream using liquid nitrogen, to exploding bombs on stage, and to the mobile lab, the Nano Express. We even brought the bison who went around gathering up students. So it's just a great day of celebration of science. We had students who are in the science programs talking to kids and 6th graders and 5th graders. And so it's all about the exposure and getting people to think about things that they normally wouldn't think about. And I have this saying that people can't do what they can't imagine. And so the festival is really about expanding people's imagination. And so as a result of expanding their imagination, they can do some new fantastic things.
Historically Black colleges and universities and students continue to make a difference. We will be right back.
I believe as a society we get what we celebrate.
I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the Super Bowl of STEM.
It's one small step for man, giant leap for mankind.
If you want to change the world, become an engineer.
If you look at the biggest companies in America, almost all of them are science, technology, engineering, and math.
The only reason I got a chance to do this is because of a dream. It opened my eyes to a different world.
You cannot wake up through the morning and get through the day without specifically being impacted by science, technology, engineering, and math.
The hopes and dreams of America's college students are dying. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund supports the 47 public, historically black colleges and universities. 80% of all students attending an HBCU are doing so on public HBCU campuses. With your help, TMCF can continue to be the lifeline of nearly 300,000 diverse students. Visit our website today to make a donation to help these very deserving students. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund, where education pays off.
Welcome back to the Color of STEM and our HBCU Getting It Done segment. Barrington Irving not only built his plane himself and made his historic flight, but graduated magna cum laude from Florida Memorial University, a HBCU, at the age of 23. Barrington is getting it done.
Imagine a global journey combined with a cutting-edge digital curriculum that makes science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, practical and applicable in the lives of students. Record-setting pilot Captain Barrington Irving and his crew launched a 9-week exploration that includes 16 expeditions across North America, Asia, and the South Pacific.
To fly around the world, I really just wanted to inspire other young people out there that come from similar backgrounds. I grew up in the hood in Miami. Had no clue aviation was a real career opportunity until I met an airline pilot. I just wanted to fly around the world to prove a point that it can be done, and being a young black man and pursuing greatness, it can be done in science and math. That's really where it all started for me, and I ended up setting a Guinness World Record for being the youngest person and the first black man to fly solo around the world. Shortly after I was introduced to aviation, in Miami, the Tuskegee Airmen has a chapter. So I was able to meet those great men and be inspired by them. And those guys were really men. You hear stories of how some of them who were captured, they were treated better in prison when they were captured in Germany than coming back to the United States. Those men, they created opportunities for young men like me to be able to live my dreams. I graduated as an aeronautical scientist. I didn't graduate as an educator, but I saw the need. I look at the amount of young people out there from neighborhoods like mine, and they have no clue what it is to be a pilot, or what it is to be an engineer, or what it feels like to make $10,000 in 1 hour. They don't know that you can obtain those things through STEM. They really don't know that. And to be an entrepreneur now, and not just an educator, not just a pilot, anything's possible. What we're doing is we're creating a flying classroom, so a real-life magic school bus with wings. And we're flying to different parts of the world to show kids how math and science is relevant and part of what we do in our everyday lives, whether it's balancing an ecosystem, working with someone that's the bionic chef that lost their limb. Show all of these innovations in technology and show how accessible it is in order to do it. We flew into Alaska and we work with the glacial geochemists, right? To study that glaciers are doing more than just melting. They're releasing microbes, bacteria, and a number of other items back into our environment that was once trapped in frozen glaciers. We traveled to Darwin, Australia, where I've tracked down poisonous cane toads. We've also worked with a number of other scientists and experts in different fields, whether it's tracking down sea snakes and showing how you can utilize the venom to fight against heart attacks and heart disease. Also, the flying classroom went to the Amazon, a place that is known to be the birthplace of medicine as it relates to deriving medicine from creatures as well as plants. we studied that as well. A lot of our adventures are hosted on a blog. It's a free blog that you can find on flyingclassroom.com/blog. So you see all of our different adventures, the images and video highlights from the adventures, and that's a free resource we make for parents. You know, leading up to the Flying Classroom, I've had a chance to do a number of different projects in Miami. And we've done projects where we took 60 kids from failing schools in Miami, had them build an airplane from scratch. All right? We've done projects where we've had kids as young as 8 years old from the inner city build a car faster than a Ferrari 430 Spider. I mean, it's all about presenting and packaging content that kids will care about. When I look at math and science, kids are just bored. And I think if we challenge them more and we did more interesting things with them, that's actually engaging. You know, if you say to a kid, I want you to build an airplane, I want you to build a car, what kid's going to say no, right? And I think we have to look at that in a way where, what can I do to fire off the neurons in a kid? The same way we sell a cell phone or a t-shirt to a child, we need to have that attitude of what will they care about. I'm a graduate of an HBCU down in Miami, Florida Memorial University. That's where I earned my bachelor's degree in aeronautical science, graduated magna cum laude, received a scholarship with the Air Force, and that's where I got my education, from HBCU. I mean, quite honestly, it was comforting for me to attend an HBCU to get my aviation training, because I'd be around other young people that are like me, that have similar pursuits. Aviation is no secret. I mean, less than 1% of pilots are black. Less than that are women in total. You know, so it's heavily dominated by white males. And I just wanted to be in more of a empowering environment to get my education.
We'll be back in a moment.
I believe as a society we get what we celebrate.
I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the Super Bowl of STEM.
That's one small step for man, giant leap for mankind.
If you want to change the world, become an engineer.
If you look at the biggest companies in America, almost all of them are science, technology, engineering, and math.
The only reason I got a chance to do this is because of a dream. It opened my eyes to a different world.
You cannot wake up through the morning and get through the day without specifically being impacted by science, technology, engineering, and math.
The hopes and dreams of America's college students are dying. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund supports the 47 public, historically black colleges and universities. 80% of all students attending an HBCU are doing so on public HBCU campuses. With your help, TMCF can continue to be the lifeline of nearly 300,000 diverse students. Visit our website today to make a donation to help these very deserving students. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund, where education pays off.
Welcome back to The Color of STEM. The Color of STEM continues.
The Color of STEM traveled to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to attend the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, the world's largest international pre-college science competition. More than 1,700 high school students from over 70 countries were in attendance.
One of my friends suggested that I enter the science fair, and I had no idea. I won first place in chemistry, and then I won the grand award, which sent me here completely free. This is one of the first trips away from home, so it's an amazing experience, but I definitely wasn't expecting it. I actually met a guy who found a treatment for cancer, and basically he used a common cold virus that can eliminate 98% of cancerous cells, and I'm just awed by everyone here. It's an amazing experience. Well, my project is based on the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill, and I live in southern Louisiana, in New Orleans, and even though the oil spill happened 75 miles away, I was still waking up every morning and smelling this disgusting crude oil, and I knew it was doing something to me, I didn't know what. And so I was interested in, the reason as to why no EPA or bioremediation organization was too focused on identifying the toxins that are forming over time as photoproducts. Because what I was learning in chemistry was that photoproducts are a thing. So I wanted to develop a method that could identify them, since it hasn't been done before. So I used liquid compound separation and solar simulation, basically, simulating my own oil spills over and over again, using oil from BP's Macondo well. And, over time, I was able to identify the toxins. I moved to New Orleans in 8th grade from Miami, and I wanted to be a lawyer. My favorite subject was English, but on a whim, I signed up for a 4-year engineering course. And the engineering teacher was my biggest influence, and he's become my mentor, and he's definitely guided me to the point where I can't imagine doing anything but science. I'm captain of the robotics team this year at my school, and I never thought I'd actually get there, because when I first joined the robotics team, I was the only girl. And I was completely worried that, my points wouldn't get across and people would just overlook, what I was trying to say. But that wasn't the case at all. They actually liked that I was a girl trying to do engineering. And that's what I want everyone to know, that it's completely okay to pursue it.
Kiana, congratulations. And we agree. Yes, it's okay. From Pittsburgh to the nation's capital, we caught up with one of our STEM stars at the USA Science and Engineering Festival.
Hi, my name is Taylor Valencia. I am a graduating senior civil engineering major at Howard University, although I'm repping Morgan today. And I'm here because I love to do engineering outreach activities for kids. I just love seeing the excitement on their faces, and it makes it all worth it. It's really important for minorities to get into science, engineering, math fields because of just the impact that they can have on society. I have seen an increase just as a student at Howard. However, I'm always promoting it even further because I have been in places where I am the only. And we definitely have a place within STEM. You can always do outreach activities for kids with STEM, always. You can even start your own program. This is one of those examples where things just start and they get on a roll, that kind of thing. I love being at an HBCU where the people look like me. I can definitely relate to them, they can relate to me, and we just have a great support network, and it's been fabulous. I chose HU, well, it really chose me. They decided to cover my tuition, and I said, that's where I'm going. And it's been great, the best decision I've made.
That's the color of STEM for today. We hope we have inspired you to consider a STEM career or inspired you to nudge someone you know into a STEM career. Keep watching The Color of STEM, where we show you that STEM makes a difference, and so can you. See you next time, and think about STEM. I'm Allison Seymour.